folks. So, when I have a flat tire, there's one thing I do not like, and that is not knowing why. So I'm working on it right now, the second one. There's nothing sticking through the rim, no obvious damage to the tube. I have inflated it. It's not leaking. Now there was one, if I can find it, somewhere, right there. There was one little fold, but there's nothing, there's no issues there. It's not hissing. I can't feel any air coming out anywhere. And it's been like 5 minutes and it doesn't seem to have lost any air. I'm changing it anyways, but why? Oh, big nail on the floor there. Thought I swept everything up. I gotta get another broom. Mine disappeared. The other brooms, everybody says they're theirs. So for one reason or another, mine got taken out of the garage and claimed when we were in Wingham. I haven't seen it since. So I gotta get another one. I'm not gonna do that right now. Eventually, oh, there's another one. Where are these big nails coming from? I thought I swept them all up already. I did that before I started doing anything out here. So, I don't know. I might grab another tube while I'm up at Home Hardware. I don't like to, reduce my supplies. Yeah, these are all the same size. I'll just take a smaller box. So anytime, I like to have a bunch because I did have a period in Wingham. I had 3 flat tires 3 days in a row. So I think that's when I figured out it was paint chips on the rim that were causing my flats. That's the only thing I could see because the holes were all on the inside of the tube, so it had to be the paint chips. So I stripped off all the loose chips, and I don't paint the insides of the rims anymore. I just lubricate them when I put the tires on. Oh. I hear it now. What the heck? That was weird. All of a sudden it started hissing. That was weird because it was making no noise and then all of a sudden it just started hissing. Right there. That'd be why I couldn't see it. There's a little flap of rubber. If I put my finger across it the right way, it goes back in place. Right there. And that's on the sidewall. Which means if I got something sticking in, it would be right on the sidewall, which there is nothing. I already looked. Okay, so it's definitely got a hole. Why it didn't... It's almost empty and it starts hissing. That's just weird. Okay, well, I'm going to finish this off. It's like 30 degrees out there right now. It's not too bad in here yet, but I can feel it getting, like, I'm sweating already. And, it's not all that hot in here just yet. So I want to get this done and finished. All done, all good. 4 tires, no flats. Everything's greased up. I took the hub off, greased the splines, greased the bolt, put it back, greased all the bolts. And check this hub bolt, it's still nice and tight. We're all good to go. It's now 10 after 4. No wonder it's starting to get hot in here. So I'm going to go out for a nice hot tour. Full sunlight today. I don't see any clouds in the sky at all. So, that's the sun directly on me. I'm going to enjoy it. Stick this over here for now. Eventually clean this up. Like I say, I tend to not putting tools away until my project's complete. And, well, that could be a while. Because I still got stuff I need to do. Okay. So I'm going to put my emergency kit back in the bag, because that always goes with me, just in case. And then head out and enjoy.
A line of summer storms leaving some destruction tonight across parts of southwestern Ontario, with multiple reports of damage coming in areas just west of Waterloo Region, especially across parts of Perth County tonight. And this video from just outside our studios in Kitchener's Sports World area a little earlier this evening, providing a stunning perspective on just what was moving in, an ominous line of dark clouds just before 8 o'clock this evening. Good evening. From a scorching hot sunny summer day to an evening of vicious storms, the weather taking a wild turn tonight across many parts of Ontario as a strong line of storms moved in. Some of the most significant damage we've seen is just to the west of Waterloo Region. CTV's Alexandra Hullock's been following that and joins us live with the latest. Alexandra, you've been speaking with people out toward the Mitchell area tonight.
That's right, Tony. One woman I spoke to lives just northeast of Mitchell near Wartburg and Kincora. She says she took cover in her basement and came out to see debris scattered across her property. Now, these pictures capturing the culmination of intense wind gusts, rain and hail in Ann Harper's backyard. Environment Canada says they've received a number of reports of severe weather from across southern Ontario, including areas near Mitchell, Stratford and even Waterloo Region. The OPP also saying late tonight that Highway 23 in Mitchell is fully closed between lines 28 and 32 due to downed hydro poles, the storm striking fear in many.
It's sort of feels, I'm not sure I can find the right word. I've never seen anything like it before. There's at least 1 or 2 trees down for every quarter mile. It was clearly intense.
Closer to home, while we haven't received any reports of damage yet here in Waterloo Region, intense winds and heavy rain created a perfect storm for power outages. Thousands of Innova customers were thrown into the dark earlier this evening after unplanned outages caused by lightning. And we should also note Hydro One has been reporting power outages affecting tens of thousands of customers tonight, with parts of Muskoka, Haliburton and the Kawarthas among the worst hit areas. Environment Canada says more storms are possible overnight after a wild night of weather that will have many cleaning up tomorrow. Tony?
Certainly will. Alexandra, thank you for that. CTV's Alexandra Hullock with that recap for us.
I think we just had a new radar update, so let me just take a look around real quick. Oh, I really don't like what's happening east of Hanover. Just unbelievable winds here. 123 kilometers an hour. Durham area needs to take shelter. If you're in the path of this storm that's blasting through southwestern Ontario right now, I would be definitely taking shelter in its path, because there's some really, really strong winds showing up on King City radar with that one. Catherine with another super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Raining here in Minden, very eerie. Can tell something's moving in. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. I saw all of that. We did the tornado potential polygon for Mattawa, and now I'm going to go do severe thunderstorm potential for Bancroft and Huntsville storms. 1,000 people that there's some storms coming. It's wild. Amazing Person 3409 says over 25,000 without power affected by the line of storms. 12,000 in the Bruce Peninsula. Wow. Thank you very much for that update. Yeah, Bruce Peninsula got hit pretty hard with that one. This Bancroft storm, the Manuth storm, 28% severe wind risk now. It's kicking it up a notch for sure. I did my big polygon heading to the east. I didn't highlight Ottawa yet. I don't want to give them too big of a heads up with that one, but I will, as it moves to the east, we'll see how it strengthens, and then I'll probably put Ottawa on a polygon with that one. All right, folks, here comes the storms. I really don't like what I'm seeing here near Hampton, Varney, Durham, Vickers, areas east of Hanover. How was Hanover, by the way? Let us know in the comments. Was Hanover bananas? It looks pretty strong. I think Arm Prior might see something, Melissa, yeah. Let me take a look at the comments on TikTok. Edmonton sky getting bad. Thank you, Pickles. Appreciate it. Come back to Alberta, says Shauna. I will, for sure. Jenna says Edmonton. Okay. All right, one second. Sorry, there's just a lot going on over here. Social Connect says, any large hail reported through storms? Nothing yet. Nothing too wild yet at the moment. But it's not entirely out of the question. Grumpy. And let's go take a look at the very colorful, very colorful Ontario. And these are the colors I don't like. 118 kilometers an hour, 119 kilometers an hour on that cell. What are we dealing with here? 61% severe wind risk, 14% tornado risk, 8% tornado risk on the southern side, 65% damaging wind risk. I don't like what I'm seeing here near Sunshine. Wherever Sunshine is. Northeast of Blythe, that's looking quite strong. Yeah, that's quite a signature up there. Exeter, not really that helpful right now. Yeah, the Exeter radar is being weird today. It did not pick up on any of the damaging wind stuff that went through Wyerton or Owen Sound. Only King City was picking up on it. So King City seems to... I'm going to message Dr. Sills about that one right now. I'm going to say, what's going on with Exeter?
Hey, folks. I got a little bit of light on me, hoping it's not too bad. It looks better than it normally does when I sit in the corner here. So, the light's flickering. I don't know why. Where do I begin? So it was really hot day yesterday. It's the hottest it's been for a while. It hit 34 degrees Celsius. I don't remember what that is. It's in the 90s. And we had a chance of storms. Knew that was coming. So the hotter it is when the cold front moves through, the worse the storms are going to be. So love the heat, but in that situation, you don't want it to be too hot. So I knew the storms were coming. They've been in the forecast for a while. And I could see it. It was like a line of storms. And gradually moving towards us, coming across Lake Huron. Holy fly. And like I said, I knew it was coming. I was ready for it. But what's been happening is the last few times these storms are coming through, they either fizzle out before they get here, or they split and go around us, or they don't actually form until they've already passed us, and then carry on, right? And we'll get the edge of something, we'll get like heavy downpour or something, and that's it. Maybe a little bit of distant thunder. That didn't happen this time. So this time it was coming, knew it was coming, but I wasn't prepared because it suddenly just intensified just before it got to us. And we got hit. So rain was pretty heavy, to say the least. There was a lot of wind. So the rain was coming in my window. I went to close my window, and it was like somebody was standing outside with a pressure washer, just like in the window. It was crazy. And there was a lot of lightning. I turned my computer off because I don't want any more problems. So Ken and I are standing in the front window and we're watching. It was crazy. And the rain will hit the roof of the house across the street from us, and then the wind would catch it. It would blow up over the roof over to the neighbor's house. It was really something to see. Ken and I just kind of look at each other. Well, that's not good. And we started getting a lot of really close lightning strikes. And it lasted a good while. And then it started fading out. So, okay, everything's kind of safe now. So I go back and I go to turn my computer on. And because my external hard drives, it takes a long time for my computer to start up, right? So I noticed the scanner has got, is locked into the North Huron channel. It's like, oh crap, I'm missing something. I never even thought about that, no. So I'm impatiently waiting for my computer. Come on, let's get going. So I didn't miss a lot. I just missed the initial page, but apparently they got a bunch of calls all at once. And they were just responding to them as I finally started recording. And then Howick started getting calls. And it's like, it was just one thing after another. Everything just started coming in. It was absolute chaos. And there was one, how can I explain this? I think it was the last year that we lived in Wingham. I decided to, when I do my out-of-town, like very far out-of-town tours, I decided to expand it and go out one further. So if you remember, I went out Salem Road to the first concession, which I believe was Belmore Line? I don't think it was Gilmore, I think it was Belmore. Oh, excuse me. Then I went up to Glen Annan Road from there. And when I was coming back towards Wingham, it's all gravel roads out there, and there's this one area that was paved, and it was lined with these huge maple trees. It was all shady. If you remember that, apparently that part got hit. I did hear about it, but I didn't know where. They said Glen Annan Road. But the Weather Network had a live stream last night. I didn't watch it. I don't like the way they do them. So I wasn't interested in watching it, but I did look at it afterward.
Okay, and we certainly do have a long line of storms. I mean, we've been showing this radar all along, and it's been taking up hundreds of kilometers. Let's go now to Wingham, one of the areas that Mark Robinson was headed towards. And looks like we've got some damage here, some trees down. We've been talking about this, the potential for tree limbs and branches to come down. And in Wingham, that's certainly been the case. We appreciate you showing us and sharing this video with us. And of course, that can become really dangerous really quickly, as I mentioned about being in a tent, or if you're driving, this could be the result of some powerful winds, just as a reminder. And this is...
And somebody uploaded video to the Weather Network of these trees down on Glen Annan Road, and as far as I can tell, that's where it was. This nice little shaded area with these huge maple trees, a bunch of them were down over the road, and took hydro lines down with them. So I kind of sucked, because I really liked that spot. It was the only paved spot in that whole area, and it was lined with these really nice maple trees. So they got taken down. And there was a bunch of calls all over the place up there. And here, most of it was south of town. You had the first concession out of town. From there to the next two concessions, that whole area was hit really hard. There was trees down everywhere. There was power lines down everywhere. There was a barn that had lost its roof. The fire department was actually clearing trees off the road so that they could get to the calls. And they were stopping in at different farms, making sure everybody was okay. So just hearing that told me, it was pretty bad down there. But a lot of trees down, a lot of power lines down. At some point, everything was getting really confusing for the dispatchers, which you can imagine were like super busy, because they deal with more than just us two, right? And the Hanover Fire Department switched to a different channel, one that I don't have, so I don't hear them for a little while, just so they can talk to themselves without getting a dispatcher worrying about missing what they're saying or whatever. And some of the calls here, they switched to just call me on the cell phone, right? But at some point there was just so many calls, they stopped reporting, and they're just keeping track of the addresses and what happened at those addresses and figure them out later. So I was talking to the fire chief here in town. He says they're still working on catching up on that. So I imagine Wingham probably is too. But right here in town wasn't bad. I saw one big tree down on a little side street up here. In the trail there's one small tree down, and where I sit at the end across the river, you could see a stick sticking up, so the top of one of those trees got taken off. That was it. Other than that, there's like sticks and leaves all over the place, but no big major trees down, just this one. It's the only one that I saw of all the places I went, and so like right in town we weren't too bad. But at one point the dispatcher said that they were dealing with 18 fire departments that were out on calls, so it could be pretty chaotic for them. And originally I thought she said 83, but after I heard it, listened to it afterward, she actually said 18, not 83, 18. Still pretty impressive, but but there was nothing to the west of us. I didn't hear Brussels, which would be the next closest. I didn't hear anything from Clinton, Seaforth, Gray Station, or Brucefield. Nothing. So they got spared. It intensified after it passed them, apparently. So it was confined to mostly north of us and south of us. And some places apparently were pretty bad. But no actual tornado. I did hear, that there may have been a tornado. Nothing official. But the way that the cold front was, it was kind of like lumpy. Like there was a round part, and there was a bit of a crook, and then another round part. Each of those little ones is a good place for rotation, right? So one of them was north of us, and one of them was south of us, apparently. But I'm figuring probably more straight line winds than anything else, or anything but a tornado. But I looked at the instant weather live stream today, and some places got over 130 kilometers per hour wind speeds. So that's enough to take trees down for sure. That's pretty fast. But it was pretty insane. It's like it lasted. I think my recording, the total recording, was 5.5 hours long. So they were out busy for quite a while. And last night about 12:30, I think, a.m., I looked at the hydro outage map. All of Wingham was out. The whole big area around Wingham was out. Roxeter was out to our west. To our east, Fordwich was out. There's a whole area to the south of us that was out. To the north of us, all around us was all power failures. And this one strip down the middle of them, where Gorey is, still had power. Everybody else around us was out, so we got lucky that way. So I haven't looked at it today. I imagine they're still working at it, because the fire chief told me today one of these concessions down here, all the hydro lines were down. So it's going to take them a while to fix all that. But I was actually impressed from what we saw out the window. Now, I'm impressed that that's all the damage that we got here in town. Like, nothing major at all. So we got spared that way, I guess. But it was pretty chaotic. And my catnip survived. It didn't get flattened down by that, high pressure rain hose or anything, so get lucky that way. But our upper room, the laundry room up there, kind of got flooded from all the water coming against the wall. It somehow made its way inside. Downstairs, no problem, just that one room up there. So I think it came in around the door. So that's the only real thing we had here. But I did come out here to check just to make sure the floor wasn't flooded. I had to pick up my tools or anything. No, nothing out here. Everything's totally dry. Excuse me, just that one room upstairs. So it was pretty interesting. There's really not a whole lot of news stories, for what happened. Everything, the worst of it is up as usual, up towards Ottawa and Quebec. They always get it worse than we do up there. And they had some tornado warnings up there as well. So I don't think I don't think we had. No, I don't believe we had any tornado warnings or tornado watches. It's originally I had the severe thunderstorm watch, and eventually it became a severe thunderstorm warning, and then boom, it was here. It came in so quick. But like I said, I knew it was coming. I was watching it, but I still got taken by surprise because all of a sudden it just intensified just as it got to us. So it was pretty freaky. So we didn't totally get spared this time, but we got spared of the worst part of it. So that was, but we got the rain that we needed. We didn't need it all at once like that, but the farmers will be happy. And I was actually concerned about the cornfields because the corn's still green, but it's getting pretty tall now. So with all that wind and the heavy rain and everything, I was kind of worried. But they all look good. I don't see any damage to them. The ones that I could see anyway. So I guess they survived, which is good. But definitely needed the rain, so we got that. And the ground isn't totally bone dry, so it's going to absorb a lot of it. There's not going to be a lot of runoff from it. The river doesn't look any higher today than it did yesterday, so no issues with flooding or anything. But like I said, just watching it in the window, it was pretty intense. I haven't seen a storm like that for a while, which I guess is good because I don't like storms like that. I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else. I think I covered it all. So I gotta go upstairs. I gotta eat because I'm kinda hungry now. And Monster's working good, so I'm enjoying it. I went out and it was hot again today. Not super hot, 28, which is kind of nice. Which is probably 83, 84 Fahrenheit. So enjoyed it, but humidity's still here. The temperature's cooled off a little bit after the storms, but not the humidity. It didn't go away. That's still here. But we got more storms, possible. I've seen storm icons for the next 4 or 5 days, so chances are there that we can get more. I don't think they'll be as severe as these ones, but they have the odd one coming through or something, which is fine. More rain, we can use the rain. So, anyway, that's all I got for this one.